encryption, we do it for securing our data, right? Our EBS volume, it is stored in a separate network. It is not there in our VPC also, right? So it will be there somewhere else in AWS, and we are accessing it from two networks inside the AWS itself. So we are accessing it from okay. So though they will say that it is completely secured, and but still we have to take care of it, and we have to. So if we go for the encryption, then it is actually secure. Okay. So if we do the encryption, and we have to. So while it is stored, to be secured, and in the transit also it has to be secured. Okay. So for encryption, so through the encryption we are going to secure it. So for the encryption, we are going to use the keys. So we can call them as encryption keys also. So there is something called as KMS, okay? Amazon Keys Management Service. So from that we are going to create the CMK keys. So CMK means Customer Master Keys. So this is actually the service. So we will get inside this service, and we are going to create the Customer Master Key. So using that, we can secure our, or we can do the encryption of our EBS volumes. Okay. So when encrypting the EBS volume, AWS KMS creates a default customer master key. Okay. So by default, so when in the last class when we did the encryption, we already had one customer master key. Okay. So how did that create? It is getting created by default. Okay. So by default, one key will always be there. So we can make use of that to encrypt the data. This key is used for your first volume encryption. Encryption of the snapshot created from this volume, and subsequent volumes are created from this snapshot. So we can create as many as keys we want. By default, one key will be there. So after that, I'll just log into the page. So we can go to our services, and here we can do key management service. Okay, is there in my history? You can search it over here. Key management service. So inside that, here so now I have created one key, right? So this is something called a snap test. Okay. So while creating the key, you should be careful. Like once you create the key, you will be getting charged $1 per month, okay? And immediately you cannot delete that also. Okay. So this is the key. So you can create as many as keys you want, and while encrypting, you can select with which key you want to encrypt it. And these keys we can share them with other people also, with other people in the sense with the other AWS accounts. Okay, so like say for example, now you have encrypted your snapshot, and you want to share that snapshot with some other AWS account. then you can share it, and after that you have to share this key also with that guy or with that AWS account. So after that, each newly encrypted volume is encrypted with a unique separate AWS AES 256 bits encrypted key. So this is something like that. So it is a 256 bit key. This key is used to encrypt the volume, its snapshots, and any volume created to its snapshots. So if you encrypt one volume with this particular key, and after that, if you are going to create some volumes, and from that volume, if you are going to create some snapshots also, so the same key is going to be used. So that is what I want to say there. So you can also change the encryption keys also. Say for example, now you have okay, we will go ahead and we will launch one instance. So I'm going to create one EC2, and from that I'm gonna so volume will be there, right? So that volume I'm going to encrypt it. Launch instance. That name. So this is our volume. And we can create a snapshot out of it. Snapshot. Yes, snapshot. This snapshot. Here we have our snapshot. So now, while copying only, you will be having the option of encryption, right? You can so simply say, for example, now if you just want to make an encrypted copy of this demo snapshot, then just you have to go to the copy. Okay, because copy only is having the encryption option, and here you can select the same same region itself, because you don't have the intention to copy it, right? So just select the same region as where you are right now, and click on the encryption. So here, as I told you, so you will be having the option to encrypt it. Encrypt it with the specific key. So I'm having one key called snap-test, and there is a default one also. Okay. So by default, the default one will be selected, and if you want to select any specific thing, then you have a drop down and you have to select it. Okay. So one thing you should keep in mind is now if you want to share some snapshot with some other AWS account, then simply you should not share it, right? Because your snapshot, it is having all snapshot of the EBS volume. EBS volume is having all the data, right? So you cannot simply copying in the sense you are copying it to some other AWS account, and it has to be secured while it is in transit. And if someone is able to capture all the data, I mean capture the snapshot what you are sharing, then they will be able to acquire all your data, right? So that's why you need to do the encryption. So basically encryption will be done in that case itself, like when we are sharing when we are about to share the EBS volumes and all. So at that time you have to encrypt and you have to share the encrypted copy itself. So at that time what happens, you cannot encrypt it with the default key what we are able to see over here. This is the default one, right? So we cannot do the encryption with the default key. Okay, so because the default key you cannot share with anybody. Okay, so you have to create one key, the customer key you have to create with the KMS service, and you have to encrypt the snapshot with that particular key. So for in my case it is snapshot, and encrypt with this, and I have to share that encrypted copy with the other AWS account, and the key also I need to share. So here I can go ahead and click on copy. And I will close it. So now it is being encrypted, and it is making use of that particular key. If you want to, so after that we can say, for example, now you have encrypted something with the default key itself, okay, and you want to change the key, so you can do that again, okay. So it is simply like, again you will click on that particular encrypted encrypted snapshot, and again you will go to copy, and there again you can change the key. Select the copy option and specify during the copy process itself. You can again re-encrypt and specify a different key. That also we can do. This comes in handy when you have a snapshot that was encrypted using your default key, and you want to change the key in order to be able to share the snapshot with other accounts. Okay, this is because, like, if you have done the encryption with the default key, then you cannot share with anybody, because the default key you cannot share it. Okay. So here, so the hands-on lab, that is what we are doing here. So now it is completed. So this has been encrypted, as you can see over here, encryption. This is actually encryption, and the key also we can see over here. And this is not encrypted. So now what we can do, so we can, out of this we can create the volume, and we can do all the stuff again, but we should be having that key. Say for example, now I have shared this snapshot with someone else. Okay, we will do another AWS account. So this one I have encrypted right now. Say for example, now if I want to share this with someone else, then how we can do it is we must be having the account ID. So I'll get the account ID. This is my account ID. You can see it over here. Okay. So this is the account ID. And so now I have come to my original AWS account. So this is my snapshot I have created over here. This is the encrypted. So we'll just demo. Okay. Just like this. Demo snapshot. So select this and click on actions and select modify permission. So what we are going to do now is we are going to share this with some other account. So just click on account number over here with the number. Okay, and with this account I am going to share this. Click on add permissions and click on save. Now if you go to the other account, so this is my other account, so which I have shared. So here I should be able to see that. Okay. Go to okay, you come to snapshots and here you should click on this drop down and you have to select the private snapshots. Private snapshots. Let us do one thing. Let us go ahead and share that key also. I have come to now. Okay. So here this is where I created my snapshot and shared it. So I will go to the KMS service and go to the key with which I have done the encryption. So this is the key with which I have done the encryption. Select that key option or click on this. Okay, so here we will go ahead and here you have that option, other AWS account, add other AWS accounts here. You click on this, add another AWS account. So the account ID, so change it. I have now shared that particular key, and now we will see here. Now we can see that, right? So as soon as I shared that particular key, customer key, then I am able to see the shared thing here. So in order to share that encrypted key, you have to go to the permissions and there you will share it, and after that the key with which you have encrypted, that also you need to There also you need to add this account. So until that you will be able to see it here. So now we have shared it here like that, and with this here in this account, what we can do, if I click on create volume, then create the volume. First, this is the volume. So you can share the snapshot if you encrypt using the. You cannot share the snapshot if you have encrypted the default. So that's also, I think we no need to demonstrate that, I guess. So if you have done the encryption with the default key, so now we have created another KMS key and use it back to encryption. But if you have done it with the default key, you cannot share it. So you can change the encryption key after doing the encryption also. So now we have used our KMS key and you can change that key also. To do that, again you have to go to the copy and then encrypt again, and then whatever key you used to, you can change it. So EBS, sharing EBS snapshots. So by default, only the account owner can create volumes from the account snapshots. Okay. So you can share your encrypted snapshots with the AWS community by making them public also. So while copying in the permissions, if you go to the permissions, if you go to the this is my other account, right? So here I cannot actually see here. This is another important thing we need to discuss. So this is my other account. So this is the shared snapshot, right? So here, if you see it, here I cannot modify the permissions. Okay. So if I want to fully get my hands on this, then I have to copy this with the copy which you have received, like by sharing. The other account has actually shared this snapshot, right? So we cannot on that snapshot itself we cannot have a full hand, okay? Or every option we will not be having. I mean, we are not having the rights on all the options. So if you want to do that, then what we have to do? We have to copy it, and then only on that copied the other copy what you are going to get after copying, on that only you can perform all the other actions. So like here you cannot, these options and all, it is grayed out. Okay. You can still launch the volume and you can do all that stuff, but modifying the things you cannot do it. So we were discussing. Yeah, so now so this was my original account. So if you go to the snapshots, okay, this was our original snapshot, non-encrypted. So here we can go to modify permissions and you can make them public also. Okay. So if you make them public, then what is going to happen? all the AWS accounts are can access them. Okay, so that is what we can so if you make it public, that is what is going to happen. So you can't make a snapshot of an encrypted EBS volume public on EBS. So you cannot do that. However, you can share it with other AWS accounts if needed, but you need to make it private and then you have to share it. So the encrypted volumes you cannot share it. You cannot make them public. So as you can see, these are encrypted, right? So if you click on modify permission. So here we cannot, as you can see, I'm clicking on this, but I cannot do it. Okay, because it has been encrypted. But if you click on this is not encrypted, right? Click on this and modify permission. Now you can see you can make it public, right? These are the important points, and it can be asked like a tricky question in your exam. So you should be knowing this. You can share your encrypted snapshot with a specific AWS account as follows. So we have already seen that. So what we have done, so we have created one KMS key, because with the default key you can encrypt it, but you cannot share it. Okay, so for sharing you have to encrypt it, and the encryption has to be done with our not with the default key. Okay. So first thing is you will create one KMS key, and you are going to create a snapshot, of course, and after that you are going to the copy option and you will encrypt that snapshot with the created KMS key, and after that you will go to the permissions, modify permissions, and there you are going to select the AWS. I mean, you must be having the other AWS account number. So that number you will give and you will share it with them. And after that, you will go to the key, and the key also you need to share with that side. So now, this is my account. I go to the key. And now this is my key, right? So now I'm going to remove this. So now I have removed the sharing of that key. And now I will go to that account. This is my account, right? So now I will go to create volume. Create volume. I should not be able to create the volume. Okay. Okay, the snapshots itself I'm not able to see. Let's try one more time. So now you are not able to create the volume out of this. It has taken some time to come into effect, I guess, the first time when we tried it. See, now we tried to create the volume, right? But we cannot actually create it because I have stopped the sharing of that key. So this account, the other account is not having the access to the key with which it has been encrypted. The snapshot has been encrypted, right? So that is why it is not able to create the volumes out of that snapshot as of now. So in the other account to which the snapshot was copied to, there you cannot create the volume out of the copied snapshot. But first you need to copy it from there. So this thing is there. So copying the snapshots. While copying the snapshots, these are the things we should be aware of. So the following is possible for your own snapshot. You can copy an unencrypted snapshot. You can copy it. During the copy process, you can request encryption for the resulting copy. So you can copy an unencrypted snapshot also. During the copy process, you can request re-encrypting it with the different key also. So like if you want to change the key for some reason, then while the copy process itself, you can do it. Copied snapshots receive a new snapshot ID. Okay, so this will be having a different snapshot ID itself, different from the original snapshot. You can copy a snapshot within the same region or from other region to another, from one region to another region also you can do it. So while copying, we did not change that, right? There we kept the region and all same because our intention was to encrypt the snapshot. You can copy a snapshot with the same region or with the other region. So when you copy a snapshot, it's being copied from one S3 location to another S3 location. But who guarantees the security? The security of the data in transit. That is taken care by the AWS itself. So here one main thing we wanted to know is, so when you create a snapshot, okay, so the snapshot where it is going to be stored, it is going to be stored in the S3 location. Okay, so and this S3 location, it is not our S3 bucket. Okay, it is the AWS. The AWS itself is going to take care. It is not. It is the bucket created by the AWS itself. Okay, and you cannot see where it has been stored and all that stuff. You will not be having the access to see those things. But it is the fact that it is going to be stored in the S3. So it's Amazon's S3 server-side encryption. So we are having our Amazon SSE who protects the data in transit. Okay. So while we create the snapshot, as we know that it is going to be stored in S3. So now it has to be copied to S3, right? That snapshot has to be copied to S3. So while for copying, first it will be encrypted. Okay. So it will be encrypted with the server-side encryption. And you should be aware that it is stored in the S3. So user-defined tags are not copied from the original. Okay, this is fine. The tags are not going to be copied. You can copy up to 5 snapshots. Copy request running in a single destination per account. So at a time you can copy 5 snapshots. Like if it is a big snapshot, then it will take some time. Right? So at a time, 5 copying processes can happen. It's not more than that. So if you try to copy an encrypted snapshot without having permission to the encryption key, the copy process will fail silently. This is why the cross-account permissions were required when sharing the input methods. So that is what we need to share the key with the other account. So creating and registering instances from instance stored AMI. So here the main thing is, so we are having our instance stored EC2 instances, right? Instance store back to the EC2 instances. So from that also we can actually we can create the AMI of that also. Okay, so the AMI for which we are going to create. So this here we are talking about the AMIs. Okay, Amazon machine images. So Amazon machine images in the sense, as we already know. If I go to the EC2 instance. So this is my EC2 instance, right? So I can create the image of this also. If I select that EC2 instance, and if I go to action, and if I go to the image over here, and I can create an image. So this is what is going to create your Amazon machine image, that is the AMI. Okay, so, but this is our EBS backed. This is having EBS backed volume. But here we are talking about the instance store backed volume. So for that also we can create the AMI. But the thing is, our AMI what we are going to create, it is going to be stored in the S3. But this is not the Amazon's S3, but you have to specify your S3 bucket in case of our instance stored back the AMIs. To create your own AMI from an instance stored back EC2 instance root volume, you need to launch an EC2 instance from an AWS instance object, update the root volume as required. Because so now if you have create one AMI, while you are doing that, you have done a lot of configurations in that. Okay, you have installed so many packages, you have done so many patches, security patches you have updated, and many software updates you have done. So you have done all these things to meet your requirement. Okay? You are having some specific requirement, and you have done all these configurations to that root volume. So after that, so you are going to launch. You are going to launch many of the EC2 instance, and you wish all these EC2 instance should be having the same configuration. What changes you have done, right? You have installed the packages, updates, patches, and all. So all these EC2 instance, you wish all these EC2 instance to have the same configuration. Okay, but you cannot always launch an instance and do the same kind of stuff what you have done until now, right? So for that, what you can do is you can do it once on one EC2 instance, and you can create an AMI, and you can make that AMI to launch even multiple instances. Okay, so for that is what we are going to create our AMI. Okay, so that is what I am saying over here. This is the obvious thing you are going to do: update the root volume by doing packages, installation, software updates, patches. So after that, create the AMI, which will upload the AMI and updates as a bundle to S3. So if it is your instance store backed volume, then the AMI is going to be uploaded to the S3, and you need to specify the S3 bucket to load the AMI bundle. Okay. So AWS itself is not going to take care. But if it is your EBS volume, okay, if it is your EBS volume for which you are going to create the AMI, then you should not no need to specify the S3 bucket and all. So, and after that you need to register the AMI manually so that the AWS EC2 can find it to launch the further EC2 instance. So these two steps you have to do it in case of our instance store batch while creating the AMI for our instance store batch instance. Instances launched from an instance store batch AMI will have an instance store as the root device volume. So when an instance is launched using the instance store batch AMI, the image is copied from S3 to the instances device volume. Okay. So from the AMI we are now launching the volume. So what happens from the S3 in S3 our AMI is stored, and from there it will be copied to the root devices volume. So here we have come to the creating AMIs from the EBS backend EC2 instance. Okay. So this we have already done, I guess. So how we used to create an AMI? You just go to your EC2 instance. This is your EC2 dashboard and it's the instance, right? So you will just select that and click on action and image, create image. So this is going to, and here you will see demo. Create image. So this is going to create my AMI. So for EBS backed instances, AWS registers the created AMI automatically. Okay. So as soon as I need not to specify any S3 or I need not to register them manually. Okay. So it is all taken care by the AWS system. Just you have to click on this action in the image, create image and specify the name. That's it. Okay. So during the AMI creation process, Amazon EC2 creates snapshots of your instance's root volume and any other EBS volumes attached to this instance. So actually a snapshot is also created along with this right now. So I have created the AMI, right? So you can see it over here. So the AMI is being created actually. It's in pending state as you can see here. So along with this AMI, the snapshots are also going to be created. Okay. So which is our snapshot here? I think this is the snapshot. No, it's not created because the AMI is still in pending state. We cannot see the snapshot here. So let it finish. After that we will see. Okay, so you do not need to specify one of your S3 bucket for creating the AMI of your EBS snap. You can delete the associated snapshot until you cannot delete the associated snapshot until you deregister the AMI. You cannot delete the snapshot. So this is what we have done now. Create an instance, create an AMI of it, copy the AMI and enter 12 copy. So this we will see everything here. So as we have in our previous session, we have seen how to share our snapshots, right? So the AMIs also we can actually share it. Yeah, so now it is EMI is available. It has come to available state in the pending state. Now if you go to your snapshot, you should be able to see now. Here in the description you can see that created by the creative. This is the volume actually, which has been now created. Because in the before when we see this, only two snapshots were there, right? So it means that when you create an AMI and along with that, and snapshot is also going to be created. That is what I want to do. Now let us see here. Let's come to AMI. Here, if you see, again, if you want to encrypt this, you can encrypt this AMI also. Okay? How do you do that? Again, you will go to click on this AMI, and you will go to actions, and you can copy AMI. And here again, in the same way, like what we've done in our snapshot case, right? The same way we can encrypt this. We can make use of a key. So let it be default key. And if you can copy AMI. I didn't select the region. I will into the same region. Canada Central. Default copy AMI. Here we can see that it is in the pending status. So what we are actually doing right now, we are encrypting it. Okay. So in the same way, like in snapshot, what we did, we can now again we can share this with some other AWS account also. We will get completed. So the same way, like the things what we carried out for our snapshots, the same things we can do with these things also. So that completes our EBS. Now we have completed our VPC, EC2, and we have completed the EBS also. So in our next class, we are going to see the elastic load balancing. You will see, okay? It is called as ELB. So they are the very important topics. ELB and auto scaling and these kind of things we will be discussing. So in the tomorrow's class, we will be discussing about ELB, elastic load balancer. Okay. So you can try this today. You can create an AMI and you can try to copy it to some other account. If you are having some other AWS account, then you can do it. I think it is going to take some time. But in the same way, what we did for our snapshots, right? So in the same way, you can copy it and you can modify the permission. You can use the keys to encrypt them and all that stuff you can do. Now we have the AMI, right? So we can, using this AMI, we can launch the instances. That I think you should already be knowing that. So if you go to your instances, and here if you go to launch instance, and so this is where you are going to select your AMI, right? So where is your AMI? It will be here on this tab, my AMI. So here this demo AMI, this is what I have created, right? So you can select this. But here I have not done any changes, right? So that is what, like if you have requirement, like you want some 100 EC2 instances with all with the same kind of configuration, then you cannot just create 100 instance and log in into every EC2 instance and do the changes what you require. No need of doing that. Just create one EC2 instance and log in into it, do what and all changes you require, and after that create an AMI, and with that AMI the rest 99 instance you can launch easily. So for that reason we are going to do it. But in this demo AMI I didn't change anything, I just created an AMI. But that is the sole purpose. So that's it for today's class. Tomorrow we'll start ELB. I think that is again we take some 2 classes, and after that we'll start auto scaling in auto 50. So 2 more concepts are there. We'll cover that. Any doubts in this, Shruti?
No, Manan. Clear.
Okay, then fine. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank